What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the Stock Hustle channel with your boy William. Today is Thursday, January the 6th. As always, let's get the formalities out of the way. Please understand nothing that is discussed on the channel is financial advice. I only simply provide people financial education that I hope they will then use to understand you don't have to slave in 9 to 5s. You can easily hustle in the market 24/7 and still accomplish all those financial goals you have for yourself. As with anything, you're always going to get out whatever you choose to put in, right? But let's go ahead and put in some work today. So as you guys see from the ticker, this is GPN, otherwise known as Global Payments Incorporated. Now, I had previously done a DD video for this company back in the fall, around this last earnings period. I want to say here, it was either August or late October, maybe November, right? In either case, I was really bullish on this play because I had explained having some global payment processing work history, because I've worked for a processor before in my work history. I kind of know their business and how it operates, the fundamentals of what they do, right? How they make their money processing debit cards and credit card payments, right? Basically skimming transactions, right? Charging businesses to process credit cards, right? In turn, providing them their money that they take from their clients, right? I kind of know that business pretty well. I worked in that field for quite a minute, programming terminals, but in either case, as I was explaining back then, I did not understand why this ticker essentially had run down, that we see here. It peaked out at 219 this previous year in April, meeting and exceeding every single earnings period, and it still was on this continuous stair step down. Like literally, it is a perfect stair step down, right, as you can see from the chart. Well, lucky for us, we are now closely approaching this breakout in trend. Using one of our favorite tools, Unusual Whales, it's now pointing at signs that it's going to break out of this trend, right? Meaning it's going to start a new trend, which will more than likely be an uptrend. Well, it has to be an uptrend, right? To break out of a downtrend, the only other way is up, right? But I wanted to share this, guys, with you because I'm very bullish on this play. I've been very bullish on this play. I've been watching this play for a very long period of time. I'm actually excited to present it to you guys again. So hopefully that you guys will then partake and you guys can become profitable, right? The only reason anybody on YouTube ever makes these videos is to try to either be helpful and to teach a method, number one, or to provide you guys profit or alpha, right? Now, you should never take simply advice from someone on YouTube, but at the same time, right, we all want to be as helpful as possible. That is the only reason I started my channel, is to try to be as helpful as possible and kind of share a little bit of the things I know with maybe someone who doesn't know as much or is wanting just to simply learn, right? But let's take a look at intraday, because intraday got really interesting. It's been really interesting over the last couple weeks, right? So this is a 10-minute chart stretched out over 30 days. As you can see, here essentially is where we hit our floor, and then we started to peak and return off, right? I'm going to share a real quick tip with you guys. If you go into Thinkorswim, there is a moving average called moving average 2 lines, right? If you add this indicator essentially to your chart, right, and go with an 11-day short moving average, or fast in this case, right, and then your slow length, you make a 33-day moving average, right? Changing colors, I have mine defaulted at white and the slow at red, right? And you add it to your chart, especially if you're on a 10-minute chart. It's really helpful for providing you entries or exits, or to understand if it's going to be an up day or a down day, right? Whether you will play calls or whether you will play puts, right, specifically. So if you go in here and test this out, right, you go into a one-day view, right? So essentially any day that the white line is under the red, we typically have a red day or a flat day. Now, any day that this white line converges over the red or is over red, we typically have green days, right? As you guys can see, this method works very, very easily, very simple to understand, very simple to execute. Very easy way to understand if you should play a call or if you should play a put, if you should buy shares or if you should sell, right? Because again, at the end of the day, the only reason anybody's in the stock market is to make money, right? But as you guys can clearly see, red over white, red, white over red, green. Simple, right? Very, very simple method. Well, no, that's not what I wanted at all. Let me zoom out. Here, as of the last, essentially, week and a half, you see that this has been on a straight up run-up period, right? Every single day, white is over red, white is over red, white is over red. Again, and then now, over this last, essentially, week, this specific week, we went from a starting point of 135, now approaching area support, breaking through earlier today, but then kind of retracting back at the end of the day at this 152.36, right? But the other important piece is that trend line, right? Maybe you remember that in the 1-day chart specifically, there was a yellow line coming down. This is the trend line we are about to break through. Breaking past this trend line would be a breakout, right? Normally what happens in a breakout, you begin a new trend, right? Which in this case, from this point, would be an uptrend, right? Well, again, Global Payments is a global processing company, right? This company receives money from all parts of the world. As you saw from the DD video, if you don't recall it, I'll clip it on the top left corner to the left of my head or right of my head. You'll see a little attachment. You can actually watch that video if you want to do the DD on it specifically. But let's go into our favorite tool, Unusual Whales, to get some more info on GPN. So going into intraday analysis, one of my favorite tools to use here at Unusual Whales, it gives you kind of some fundamental basis to understand what is going on in a play, right? Well, when you look at the biggest option trades, number one, if you ever see or go in looking for a play and you see nothing but bullish trades, that is a very, very bullish sign, right? You only have one sold call at 140 or two sold calls at 140 for February 18th, 2022. Everything outside of that is on the bullish side for this year, for beginning of February to mid-February, as you guys can see. On the left side, you have the most active chain, which tells you what is the most active chain, right? What is getting the most amount of activity, right? Either in volume or open interest, right? What stands out right away, you see that the February 18th 160, the 150, the 155, the 140, right? And we are currently trading at 151.27, so that 160 looks really, really appealing to me. Because that would confirm a breakout in trend, which would mean a new trend, which would start an uptrend in either case, right? Very bullish signs specifically, right? But as you see in the most active chains, there are only 2 put contracts that are in the most active, right? Another very bullish sign. Down here, you have the highest increase, highest decrease, right? You have the bar charts. I've showed you guys these before in other videos. Again, it's just another way to interpret the data. You got some dark pool data, which is pretty cool. You got some latest news and headlines specifically, and then you have some price targets. Normally, I think we had one that just updated today. Yeah, Deutsche Bank updates or adjusts Global Payments price target to 222 from 237, still maintaining in the high 200s. Another very bullish sign, especially if we're sitting in the 150. You know how much money that is you can make if you played options from between now and 222, and we actually hit the 222. That's a significant amount of cheddar. I don't care who you are, right? You just got to take advantage of your opportunities. This is the piece I focus the most probably when I come to intraday analysis specifically, is change with the highest open interest, right? Because I want to see where the amount of money or the concentration of money is going. As you clearly see, that February 18th 150 stands out. 13,000 open interest, open active contracts specifically already there. Then you have the January 21st 200. Again, another very bullish sign. The 150 for January, the 170 for January, the 140, the 195. Again, they're all within frequency and within space. It's almost like it's spread out a little bit, but it's a very bullish sign to see for me either way. Another confirmation that I use, and sometimes I quote in my videos, is Lucid Tracking. I use Lucid Tracking to track Blackrock, ARK, and I think Global X, right? These big hedge funds, right? To see what they're buying and what they're selling. In Lucid Tracking, under Blackrock specifically, you see latest ads. GPN is a latest ad for Blackrock, and Blackrock is a monster. It's a juggernaut, right? When it comes to hedge funds, right? To see them add officially GPN is just another confirmation that I use to interpret, okay, they see that this is very bullish. You see that the rank has gone up 142%. So they are leaning very, very bullish on this as well, right? Specifically. So I just use it as another confirmation sign. I don't base my sole decision just on that specifically, right? But when we go into the flow specifically for GPN, as you guys can see, going into the flow at $25,000 premium, calls, puts, bid ask all turned on. No presets, nothing else turned on, right? Just straight flow. You can automatically see it is very, very bullish. In this little pill box up here where it says P/C ratio, that's your put to call ratio, right? Now this ratio matters, right? Anything 0.5 and below is considered very bullish. I believe anything 0.7 or higher is considered bearish, right? My numbers may be off just a tad bit. Your boy Milt on Twitter, he has I think a feed where he actually explains what actually each one of the pillboxes means. It's somewhere on Unusual Whales. I have to find it. I'll put it on my Twitter for you guys to see, but I know that the ratio, I believe 0.5 and below is very bullish, 0.7 and up is very bearish, right? So just something for you to consider. That is a little quick indicator you can look at to see, okay, is this bullish or is it bearish, right? But as you guys know, my favorite thing to use now is QuickView, because QuickView is going to give you the chain with the highest open interest and volume specifically, as you see the 160, 150, 155, 140. For me to see the 155 and the 160 stands out right away, because that's our essential next area of opportunity where we want to get to, right? It gives you the bid ask, you kind of understand what a contract there would cost you, right? You have the top top trade specifically over $25,000 premium. You see that it is a floor trade specifically at $226,000. Again, another very bullish sign. For you to throw down that much money in that short amount of time is a very bullish sign, especially when it's done on the floor, right? Under the navigation page, you can look up what a floor trade means. It is another bullish sign in my opinion, because it's a bullish type of trade, right? You want to guarantee that the trade gets approved, submitted, and sealed, right? That's why you make it through a floor trade. But you have the flow levels broken down. As you see, anything 200,000 plus was 100% to the bullish side. There was no give or take between bullish and bearish premium today, but for the majority, we are above 65% when it comes to premium breakdowns. For this week specific, or the next expiration, January 21st, you see that we are currently sitting at 48% bullish versus 51% bearish, but we still have about 2 to 3 weeks to go. On February 18th, you see that has changed completely. You have 1.8 million sitting on the bullish premium side, leaving us at 75.88% versus just 24% bearish premium, right? Again, I think the message is pretty clear. I'm very bullish on this play. Again, if you want to check out the DD video, I will leave it clipped. It should be over my left shoulder on this corner up here for you to click on and check it out. But other than that, guys, as always, if you have questions, please don't hesitate to leave a comment or hit me up on Twitter or IG. If you found the video valuable or the content important, give me a like and a subscription. Other than that, guys, I will catch you in the next one.